biological realm. And a lot of the pandemic's response has already been fourth industrial revolution technology, right? With the surveillance mechanisms, the tracking and the tracing, the mRNA technology. And we're going to see much more of that, obviously, with the rise of AI, but also European Union has the digital identity ready. That's going to be rolled out very soon.
What is that?
So the Digital Identity Project is basically, I don't know if your audience is aware of this, because I don't think you guys had this in America, but in Europe, during COVID, we had digital vaccine passports.
So I remember this from when we went to visit. Even last year, there was a question. We didn't know if we were going to need something because I'm not vaccinated.
Neither
Tanya,
am I.
my kids are not vaccinated. All right.
Yep, pure blood.
Pure blood.
Yeah.
And we didn't know if we were going to need something. And we actually we did the tests and they were looking for the tests.
Yeah.
The rapid tests and all this before we could get in there and then before we get back to the United States. And that's even 2022.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I mean, so look, this was a digital QR code that you had to show on your phone.
Wow.
And it was a government app, right? There was also a European app for it. And the crazy part about it is that you needed to get that QR code scanned for everywhere where you wanted to go. And it would either have to be a test, you would have to be cured, right? So that was like 6 months after getting tested. It's all ridiculous anyway. Or your vaccine. So this was something.
And the vaccine counts as a cure, of course.
Of course. But
wow.
it did expire if you didn't get your booster.
Not if you like everyone in my family, I don't know about you, but we all had COVID and we were cured by something called natural immunity. Yeah,
yes.
It's amazing. Right?
And that did not count. That did not count. So this digital QR code that we had to.
By the way, I got to tell you this. So the best one of these. So our family of four, AJ, the youngest, was born in 2020. And when Tanya was pregnant, late in the pregnancy, that's when we all caught COVID.
Right.
So she's pregnant, he gets born. Then, do you remember when Omicron hit about a year later,
yes,
give or take, in late 2021? That time around, none of us have symptoms because we all have the immunity. And here's what's interesting. Even little AJ didn't have symptoms. He was born with the antibodies because he got them from mom. He was born, so he will live his entire life with that natural immunity.
Yeah, amazing.
And it's incredible how the body works. That's actual biology. It's God's design. It's right there.
Yes, it's all right there. But common sense and in general, constitutional rights went straight out of the window during COVID.
No.
So, but what's important to know about this digital QR code is we had that, right? We needed to show a digital QR code to other citizens because suddenly everybody was allowed to check your identity and to scan your medical records in order to get into bars, restaurants, museums, anything. So just to partake in everyday life, you had to show this digital QR code. And that digital QR code is exactly what they're now going to make a digital identity, like a digital passport for just about every service that you can get in the European Union.
This is what I'm confused about. So if it's not predicated on vaccinations, because COVID-19, they sort of lost that, the crisis, the power of the crisis in COVID-19. What's the impetus for digital ID?
Convenience, Jack. Convenience.
Oh,
that's the way to a modern person's heart.
How convenient.
Yeah, so they're, we never needed this, but now they're telling us, hey, this is going to make your life so much easier because if you want to rent a car somewhere in Europe, all you have to do is show them your digital QR code. They scan it and they have all of your data. You don't need to pick, you don't have to have your papers on you, none of that.
Well, this is all Chinese.
This is all Chinese
because in China, they don't even have the QR code and the digital ID. You know what they have in China, right?
Yeah, the social credit system.
No. But what they use to
facial recognition.
People. Right. It's just this.
Course, yeah,
you walk
is the next
up
step.
and they have this. I'm sure you've seen the videos viral, vending machines, and you walk up and I can just look at it, and then it immediately connects my face with my bank account or your credit card. So all of this will be integrated.
It's
your bank account, your credit card,
exactly,
and of course your credit card linked directly to what? Oh, your credit score.
So the commissioner, actually, European commissioner, who is basically in charge of all of this, he actually talked about this. He said, yeah, this is a digital wallet, so it will encompass everything.
A digital wallet.
And then he said, and you know what, we need something to fill it with. And he didn't allude to what he meant, but, for the intelligent listener, you're like, what do you fill a wallet with?
Right.
money, right?
Money, of
and
course.
what is the European Union right now developing? The digital euro. So digital wallet, digital identity, central bank digital currencies, all of it is right around the corner. Amazon is actually the company that's been commissioned to develop the first pilots for the digital euro, which is like, why would Jeff Bezos have to do that? It's odd, right? Mm-hmm. And so once this is all in place, and that's what people need to understand, it's like, it's not about convenience. It's so that every single time that you do something or say something that the government doesn't like, they can ruin your life. You know, screen goes red. It's like, you have the wrong opinions, Jack. Sorry, no cheeseburger for you. No
you
life,
said something.
You know?
You said something bad on the X platform. You misgendered somebody. You did a hate speech, and now all of a sudden your Amazon refrigerator won't open.
Exactly.
Because you've been locked out. There was a guy who he had he was actually an engineer, the software engineer in the United States, and he did the whole Microsoft home security system. And if I remember correctly, there was an issue with the ID verification, so he couldn't even verify who he was to the system. He couldn't get into his own house.
All of these smart devices, you know, that they sell to you to make your life easier, at least that's what they say. All of those are, first of all, not smart, but they're all meant to control you. They're all meant to keep track of your every single move, and to then, of course, have the government, you know, be able to program these things. So central bank digital currency, same thing. It's not just digital money. It's credit that you get from the government that they can take away from you at any step of the way.
And here's the danger. The real danger is this. It is convenient, right? It is. And that's the real danger, because if you are someone who's just going about your daily life, we call them normies. We love the normies. We love our normies, don't we, folks? We're the best normies. But you're not keyed into the potential threats of these technologies if they, like so many other situations, get in the hands of bad actors,
right,
of people who potentially have negative intentions for them and then want to use them to be able to receive control. We saw this in Canada with the truckers, and we saw it in your homeland with the farmers.
Farmers, yeah, and I think that that's something it's the next step that people need to make.
What if they could switch all those tractors off?
Yeah, well, think about electric vehicles, etc.
Exactly.
You know, like we were talking about those taxis that are driving around here.
I hate these things.
Here in Phoenix, like what are those?
I was going to bring this up. I didn't know if we were going to get to it.
Oh, man.
But same wavelength there, because so we're staying in Phoenix, folks, and they have rolled out this pilot program in this city. I think San Francisco has them. Well, it's the Silicon Valley company. They're doing, it's called Waymo, robot, self-driving, driverless taxis. I hate these things.
Most dystopian things.
They're so dystopian, so people get in them like an Uber, but there's nobody at the wheel, and it drives you where you're supposed to go. And I think they're so incredibly antisocial.
Yes.
They're borderline demonic. I'll say borderline demonic.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I would cross that border.
You'd say full?
Yeah, I retweeted it, and I was like, not today, Satan. Not today.
Not today, Satan. Kill the robot. Kill all